Here's how women fall in love. Not through flashy gifts, not through empty promises, not even through endless effort. They fall in love with something deeper, with strength of character, with discipline, with wisdom, with the way you carry yourself in the face of life's storms. And this is where Stoicism, the ancient philosophy born in Athens and perfected in Rome, offers us timeless truths. Stoicism isn't about suppressing emotions. It's about mastering them. It's not about pretending to be strong, it's about building unshakable strength from within. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, Seneca, the wise advisor, Epictetus, the slave who became a teacher of freedom. All of them showed us what it means to live in a way that commands respect, admiration, and yes, love. So in this video, we're going to uncover the Stoic principles that explain how women truly fall in love. Not with effort, but with essence. Not with appearances, but with the reality of who you are. I'll share with you 7 to 10 powerful lessons, each drawn from Stoic wisdom, explained with history, connected to modern life, and followed with practical steps you can take. Because at the end of the day, Stoicism isn't just a philosophy, it's a way of being. And when you live by it, love isn't something you chase. It's something you naturally attract. Lesson 1. Women fall in love with self-mastery, not chaos. Narrator, Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Think about that. If you are enslaved to anger, jealousy, or impulsive desires, you're not free. And worse, you're not attractive. Women don't fall in love with a man who is constantly lost in his emotions. They fall in love with a man who feels deeply, but governs himself wisely. Historical context: Epictetus was born a slave, yet he never let his chains control his inner world. Even in captivity, he had more freedom than many emperors because he ruled himself. Modern example: a man who lashes out when rejected, who spirals when stressed, who begs for attention. He repels love. But the man who can remain calm in conflict, composed under pressure and stable through adversity, he inspires trust and admiration. Practical Stoic advice: begin with awareness. Notice your emotional triggers. Practice pausing before you react. Count to 10, breathe, and choose your response. Remember, mastery over self is more magnetic than mastery over others. Lesson 2. Women fall in love with purpose, not pleasing. Narrator, Marcus Aurelius wrote, "A man's worth is no greater than the worth of his ambitions." A man without purpose drifts. He becomes needy, constantly looking for validation from others. But a man with purpose? He radiates direction, energy, and clarity. Women don't fall in love with men who live to please. They fall in love with men who live with purpose and who invite others to walk beside them. Historical context: Marcus Aurelius, though burdened with war and plague, never abandoned his duty. He saw his role as emperor not as power to enjoy, but as responsibility to serve. Modern example: a man who chases approval says, "Tell me I'm enough." But a man with purpose says, "I know who I am. Come join me if you wish." And that confidence is irresistible. Practical Stoic advice: write down your life's mission, even if small. Health, career, relationships. Dedicate your time first to what serves your higher purpose. Stop over-explaining yourself. Let your actions prove your path. Lesson 3. Women fall in love with consistency, not promises. Narrator. Seneca said, "Well-being is attained little by little, and nevertheless is no little thing itself." Consistency, that's the secret. Words are easy. Promises are cheap. But a man who is steady, who shows up the same way today, tomorrow, and years from now, earns deep love. Historical context: Seneca mentored Nero, one of Rome's most unstable rulers. Despite his wisdom, Nero lacked consistency, and his erratic nature destroyed trust. Consistency builds empires. Inconsistency crumbles them. Modern example, a man who says, "I'll change," but never does loses credibility. A man who consistently works on himself step by step becomes someone she can rely on. Practical Stoic advice. Start small, be consistent in waking up, in fitness, in honesty. Keep promises to yourself, because if you break them, you'll break them to others. Build habits that require no motivation, just discipline. Lesson 4. Women fall in love with courage, not comfort. Narrator. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Love doesn't grow in the soil of cowardice. Women fall in love with courage, the courage to take risks, to face adversity, to pursue what is right even when it is hard. Historical context. Marcus didn't choose comfort. He spent years on the battlefield, enduring harsh conditions, because his duty demanded it. His courage made him respected not only as a ruler but as a man. Modern example. She doesn't fall in love with the man who hides from challenges. She falls for the man who takes risks, who speaks honestly, who dares to dream, who faces setbacks without breaking. Practical Stoic advice. Do one thing daily that makes you uncomfortable. Face fears gradually. Start with small social risks, then larger life challenges. Remember, courage isn't absence of fear, it's action in spite of it. Lesson 5. Women fall in love with integrity, not manipulation. Narrator. Seneca wrote, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." Manipulation may gain attention, but it never earns love. Integrity, however, builds trust so deep that love becomes unshakable. Historical context. Rome was filled with men who schemed for power. But the Stoics stood apart. They lived by principle, not politics. That's why their words still inspire centuries later. Modern example. A man who hides his intentions, lies for approval, or plays games only breeds suspicion. But the man who lives with honesty and fairness is rare, and that rarity is deeply attractive. Practical Stoic advice. Tell the truth, even when uncomfortable. Align your actions with your values, not convenience. Treat others with justice, especially when no one is watching. Lesson 6. Women fall in love with presence, not distraction. Narrator. Marcus Aurelius said, "Confine yourself to the present." Love doesn't blossom when you're lost in the past or anxious about the future. It grows when you are fully present, listening, observing, being there in the moment. Historical context. As emperor, Marcus was burdened with endless duties, yet his writings show his commitment to mindfulness, to grounding himself in the moment, not drowning in distractions. Modern example. She doesn't fall in love with the man glued to his phone, half listening. She falls for the man who gives her his undivided attention, making her feel seen and valued. Practical Stoic advice. Practice mindfulness daily. Notice your breath, your surroundings, your emotions. In conversations, listen more than you speak. Remove distractions. Silence your phone. Make eye contact. Be here now. Lesson 7. Women fall in love with resilience, not fragility. Narrator. Epictetus said, "Difficulties show what men are. Life will test you. Love will test you. What determines attraction is not whether you fall, it's how you rise." Historical context. When Epictetus's master broke his leg, he accepted it without bitterness. He knew the body could be harmed, but the soul remained untouchable. That resilience made his philosophy immortal. Modern example. She doesn't fall in love with a man who collapses under pressure. She falls for the man who faces setbacks, learns, adapts, and grows stronger. Practical Stoic advice. Reframe failure. It's not the end, it's feedback. Build resilience by practicing voluntary discomfort, cold showers, fasting, physical training. When life knocks you down, ask, what can I control? What can I learn? How can I rise? Lesson 8. Women fall in love. With men who add value, not drain energy. Narrator. Seneca wrote, associate with those who will make a better man of you. Love thrives when you add strength, wisdom, and joy to someone's life, not when you drain it with negativity or neediness. Historical context. The Stoics believed in living as a citizen of the world, contributing to society rather than consuming it. A man who adds value is remembered. A man who drains others is forgotten. Modern example. She doesn't fall in love with a man who constantly complains. She falls for the man who uplifts, who brings peace instead of chaos, solutions instead of problems. Practical Stoic advice. Ask yourself, am I adding energy or draining it? Practice gratitude daily. It makes you a source of positivity. Offer solutions, not just complaints. Lesson 9. Women fall in love with growth, not stagnation. Narrator. Marcus Aurelius urged himself daily to live according to nature, to grow, to improve, to fulfill his potential. Women fall in love with men who are becoming, not perfect, not finished, but always growing. Modern example. She doesn't care if you're rich or successful yet. She cares if you're working on yourself. Reading, learning, striving, improving. Growth is magnetic. Practical Stoic advice. Commit to lifelong learning. Reflect daily. What did I do well? What can I improve? Never settle. Always aim to be a little better today than yesterday.